France is preparing for a significant change in public life. Starting July 1st, 2025, smoking will be forbidden in many outdoor public areas. This means no more cigarettes on beaches. Parks will also become smoke-free zones. Even areas outside schools and at bus stops will be included in this extensive ban. The government aims to protect citizens from second-hand smoke. This move reflects a growing global trend towards healthier public environments. It's a clear signal of France's commitment to tackling tobacco consumption. The specifics of enforcement are still being detailed, but the intent is firm and the date is set for this summer. This new outdoor ban is not an isolated decision. It is the latest step in a long history of French anti-tobacco measures. These efforts began decades ago, with the first significant legislation appearing in 1976. A major turning point was the 2007 ban on smoking in indoor public places. This included workplaces, restaurants, and bars, dramatically changing social habits. Then, in 2016, France implemented neutral packaging for tobacco products. This measure aimed to reduce the appeal of smoking, especially to young people. Each step has built upon the last, progressively tightening restrictions on tobacco use and promotion across the country. Beyond traditional cigarettes, France has also taken action against newer nicotine products. A ban on the sale of disposable vapes became effective on February 25, 2025. This decision was driven by serious concerns over the rising popularity of these products among young people. Environmental worries also played a part due to the lithium batteries in these single-use devices. Furthermore, on February 24, 2025, France notified the European Commission of its plan to ban nicotine pouches. These measures show a comprehensive approach to nicotine addiction, targeting various forms of consumption that are seen as problematic for public health. The upcoming outdoor smoking ban, therefore, is a logical continuation of France's established public health strategy. It represents an expansion of smoke-free environments, moving from indoor settings to the open air. The government sees this as crucial for protecting non-smokers, particularly children, from the harmful effects of passive smoking. This bold move underscores a national determination to reduce the prevalence of smoking. It also aligns France with broader European efforts to create a tobacco-free generation. The countdown to July 1st marks a new chapter in the nation's fight against tobacco. France's new policy fits neatly within a wider European Union vision. The European Commission has an ambitious goal, the Beating Cancer Plan. A key part of this plan is to create a tobacco-free generation by the year 2040. This means aiming for less than 5% of the EU population using tobacco within the next 15 years. Currently, about 25% of people in the EU are smokers, so this target requires significant and sustained effort. France's outdoor ban is a strong national contribution towards this collective European aspiration. It shows a commitment to tackling one of the leading causes of preventable death. The European Union's health ministers have also signaled strong support for such measures. In December 2024, representatives from the 27 member states agreed on stricter, though non-binding, anti-smoking rules. These recommendations explicitly include bans on smoking and vaping in various outdoor areas, playgrounds, cafe patios, swimming pools, beaches, and even rooftop bars were mentioned. France's decision to ban smoking on beaches, in parks, and near schools aligns perfectly with these EU recommendations. This collective agreement, despite some internal debate, highlights a growing consensus on the need to extend smoke-free zones beyond indoor spaces for better public health. The public health rationale behind these bans is compelling and stark. Tobacco use is recognized as the largest avoidable health risk in the European Union. It is responsible for approximately 700,000 deaths annually within the EU alone. Globally, the figures are even more alarming. The World Health Organization states that tobacco use kills over 8 million people each year. Critically, this number includes around 1.3 million non-smokers who die from exposure to secondhand smoke. This involuntary exposure is a major concern as it affects people who have chosen not to smoke but still suffer the health consequences caused by others. To understand the discussion fully, defining some key terms is helpful. Secondhand smoke, also known as passive smoke, is the combination of smoke exhaled by a smoker and smoke emitted from the burning end of a tobacco product. It contains thousands of chemicals, many of which are toxic and carcinogenic. Tobacco harm reduction, or THR, is a public health strategy. It aims to reduce the health risks associated with tobacco use by encouraging smokers who cannot or will not quit nicotine to switch to less harmful alternatives, such as e-cigarettes or nicotine pouches. These concepts are central to the ongoing debates about how best to manage tobacco control. Supporters of France's outdoor smoking ban champion it as a vital public health initiative. They argue that it will significantly reduce non-smokers' exposure to harmful second-hand smoke in shared public spaces. This is particularly important for vulnerable groups like children and individuals with respiratory conditions. Furthermore, advocates believe that extending smoke-free areas helps to denormalize smoking. Seeing fewer people smoking in public can discourage young people from starting. Creating healthier environments, free from cigarette butts and smoke, is another key benefit highlighted by those in favor of the ban, improving the quality of life for everyone. However, the ban is not without its critics. Tobacco harm reduction, THR activists, for instance, have voiced strong concerns. They argue that recent French bans on products like disposable vapes and nicotine pouches were implemented without sufficient scientific studies or impact assessments. Their primary worry is that removing these less harmful alternatives could inadvertently lead to negative consequences. Adults who are using these products to quit or reduce cigarette smoking might revert to traditional, more dangerous, combustible tobacco. They also fear a potential rise in illicit sales of banned products, making regulation and quality control more difficult. This divergence of views is also reflected within the wider European Union. While the EU recommendation for stricter outdoor anti-smoking rules passed, it was not unanimous in spirit. Germany and Greece, for example, abstained from the vote in December 2024. Germany cited regional competences and expressed opposition to outright bans on smoking on outdoor terraces of cafes and restaurants. Greece voiced skepticism about the overall effectiveness of such extensive rules and called for more scientific data, particularly concerning e-cigarettes. Some lawmakers across Europe also view extensive outdoor smoking bans as a potential infringement on individual freedom and personal choice. The individual freedom argument is a common theme in discussions about smoking bans. Critics often contend that adults should have the right to choose whether or not to smoke, especially in open-air environments where smoke disperses more readily. They perceive such bans as government overreach into personal lifestyle decisions. Conversely, public health advocates counter this by emphasizing the right of non-smokers to breathe clean air and be protected from the proven harms of second-hand smoke. They argue that the freedom to smoke should not impinge on the health and well-being of others, particularly in spaces designed for communal enjoyment and relaxation. France's move to ban outdoor smoking places it among a growing number of European countries taking strong action against tobacco. Sweden, for example, implemented a full ban on smoking on restaurant and bar terraces back in 2018. This has contributed to Sweden having the lowest cigarette smoking rate in Europe, currently at 8%. The United Kingdom is also considering similar bans for pub and restaurant terraces. The Netherlands has implemented a raft of high anti-tobacco measures, including significantly high cigarette prices, around €11.10 per pack, neutral packaging since 2020, and a ban on smoking at educational facilities, demonstrating a multifaceted approach. Other nations also offer examples of stringent policies. Ireland boasts the highest cigarette prices in Europe, with a pack costing around €16.75. Furthermore, Ireland is considering a bill to raise the minimum age for buying cigarettes to 21. This strategy aims to prevent young people from starting to smoke in the first place. Lithuania has opted for partial bans, allowing designated smoking areas in some parks and public places, offering a slightly different model. These international examples showcase a variety of approaches to tobacco control, with France now pushing towards the more comprehensive end of the spectrum with its widespread outdoor ban. The potential benefits of France's comprehensive outdoor smoking ban are manifold. Primarily, it is expected to lead to cleaner public spaces, free from cigarette smoke and litter. This will enhance the experience of using parks, beaches, and other recreational areas for everyone. In the long term, reducing smoking prevalence and exposure to secondhand smoke should contribute to lower healthcare costs associated with treating tobacco-related diseases. Crucially, this ban will play a significant role in France's contribution to the European Union's tobacco-free generation goal, fostering a healthier future for its citizens and setting an example for others. Despite the positive outlook, implementing the ban will come with challenges. Effective enforcement across diverse outdoor spaces will require clear guidelines and consistent application. There may be some public resistance, particularly from smokers who feel their freedoms are being curtailed. Businesses, such as cafes and restaurants with terraces, might also face adjustments, especially if future regulations extend to their outdoor seating areas more stringently following EU recommendations. Navigating these challenges while maintaining public support and achieving the desired health outcomes will be key to the success of France's bold and progressive anti-smoking legislation in the coming years.